Today's guest conversation is with Mr. Ross Steedley, an assistant coach for the Appalachian State Mountaineers in beautiful Boone, North Carolina. Here's episode 71 of the Baseball Forward podcast. Mr. Ross, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. Ross, another Ross. Good to have another guy with a great name. Dude. So I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me on today.
I'm excited to talk to you, and I know for those of you that watch this on YouTube, you're gonna see. Dude, you guys have one of the coolest fields. Like it is picturesque. Anytime I think of Appalachian State baseball, App State baseball, well, one, I think of when App State beat Michigan, and was it 94 in football? But I see that field, the colors, Boone, North Carolina. Does it get any better there? Does it get any better than Boone, North Carolina at App State aesthetically?
As our head coach, Coach Kermit Smith, likes to say on a daily basis, at least once, is it just doesn't get any more perfect than here in Boone. So you'll hear that often. But no, yeah, I think the App State obviously beating Michigan in football. I think it was 06, 07, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the football team had a big win out there against Texas A&M in 2022, something like that, I believe. So, yeah, I'm actually in our press box. I was hoping the field would come through. I don't know. I hope it comes through nicely for people to see. But obviously every year it goes viral on social media. We're about a month and a half-ish away from what they call peak leaf season here. Ooh, so yes. in the early to middle part of October, so from like October 9th, we were actually joking and talking about it yesterday. I was telling Coach Johnson, our others, like from like October 9th through October 18th, I believe, is when the leaf season is supposed to peak this year. So that is when the field will pop. Jim and Betty Smith Stadium, Beaver Field. It'll go viral on social media. I actually learned when I got here to App State there's a thing called, they're not a thing, they're leafers. So people come up here for weeks at a time, and they are known as leafers, and they travel all the western part of the Appalachians, and they like the Leafs here. So our field is special. We're thankful for it. It is a big promotion for our program, and it's really cool.
I grew up in Colorado Springs on the Air Force Academy. My dad was an instructor there, so I know very well what fall foliage looks like. And if you've never been there, I'm telling you guys, get acclimated with the App State. You guys are such a good reputation in the baseball world. But it's an unbelievable school, and you got to check this place out, App State. I'm talking with Ross Steedley on the Baseball Forward podcast today. Ross, well, I got to get this out of the way too. Did the name? Did you have the struggles that I had with the name Ross growing up? Because I remember we would go on family vacations, we'd go on road trips, like the magnets, where it says Billy and Bobby and Susie and different states, and they never had Ross. So anytime I struggled with that growing up, and then I wonder if other Rosses in the world experienced those same struggles as I did.
Well, fun fact. So my first name is actually Mark. Okay. Ross is my middle name. And so I go by my middle name. My first name is Mark. And I had the struggle of every year in school, the first day of school, they give out roll call, right? Uh-huh. So all the teachers would call me Mark. And it got to the point where I just wouldn't respond. I wouldn't answer. And all my buddies would be like, dude, you're such a punk. I'd be like, actually, no, I go by Ross. So, and even still to this day, obviously you have to go through the first name, middle name stuff. But yeah, I had my struggles as well. I can't find many things that have, to your point, that have Ross on it. But yeah, and if I ever did get in trouble of any kind, Mark Ross was the way I was referred to.
You have my word that if I ever am in a gas station on a family trip and I see a Ross, I'm buying it and I'm sending it to you.
Perfect. I'll make a deal with you as well.
And in a traumatic experience for me briefly in 7th grade, we had a substitute teacher back in the day calling the roll call. I'm in home economics. I'm sitting in the back row, and this lady was just rude, and she was screwing everybody's name up like that Key and Peele skit. And I hear my name, and she goes, Rose Hawley. I was like, my life is over. How could you do this to me? So traumatic anyway, but I love the name. So Ross, awesome, man.
The thing that gets the people that struggle with the most is my last name. Actually, that's where we had the name issues. Even still to this day, people can't get my last name said correctly or spelled correctly.
I said it right? Steedley.
Oh, it's real simple. Steedley. But you'd be amazed. Growing up, my brother playing ball, it'd be pronounced Studley, Stoodley, Steadley. People this day they leave out the last E or the E. It's incredible.
Man, oh man, I love hearing that. Well, let's get into it, man. And like I said, I'm so excited to talk to you. First of all, so much respect for what you guys are doing at App State. And I know like we live in a social media world, so people are more familiar with New York and California. Like it's there are no barriers. Distance isn't a barrier anymore. But being in DFW and knowing how many people, how many players in this area know about App State, and kind of even when we're talking online, dreaming of App State, man, that's a testament to the program, the athletic department. And I've always kind of been fascinated with the draw to App State. So Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina. So I'm talking with Coach Steedley here. What is the draw, do you think, to App State, and why has there been so much success with that university in the athletic department?
No, that's a good question. And I think it starts at the top. I mean, we have great administration. We have unbelievable leadership with our athletic director, Doug Gillen, and his staff, and Jonathan Reeder, and so many people. And our AD, Doug, talks about all the time. He just spoke about this morning. We had a staff meeting. He said, like, the A never leaves you, right? Like people recognize. So I think you talk about it's a name brand university. People recognize the A. We're in a very scenic resort, in a sense, location. It's a true college town. The neat thing about Boone and App State, so the town population of Boone is roughly 20,000, a little bit less. And then the enrollment of our university is essentially 25,000 and increasing. So our university enrollment is bigger than the actual town population. So when school is in semester, like we are in now in the fall semester, the town literally doubles. And the King Street, the area right here downtown. So King Street and our campus, like essentially they merge together. So you'll be walking on a part of campus, and you'll be running into technically what is downtown Boone. So I think what makes App special, it's the people, it's the location, it's the administration, it's the facilities, it's the draw of what you get here as an education, but also what it sets you up for. It's a powerful alumni base, like a true, powerful, passionate alumni base. I can't tell you, we travel a lot for different, obviously, games, recruiting, whatnot, or even when we're on vacation. And as again, I said, the A never leaves you, what Doug references to. I can't tell you how many people be like, go App State, class of 87.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Or I've been on a plane before and somebody will turn around to me and be like, App State. And I'll be like, yes, sir. I coach baseball there. And they'll be like, beat Michigan, right? Out this summer, somebody comes up, they're like, I was at the A&M game when the football team won. So there's always something, whether it's our field going viral with the leaves, the foliage, whether it's the football wins, or it's a class of 87 alum, that it's a special place. It's a true college town. Like you don't get those places all across the country. Like Boone is App State. App State is Boone. And then obviously you've got you got country music people like Luke Combs. Everybody knows that guy. And he loves the Nears. He was the guest picker on College Game Day that year after they had come back from A&M. So there's a lot of really good people here that make this place special. And it's a really, really big blessing to be a part of it.
Man, that is excellent. And that makes a lot of sense. Like you kind of closing the circle for me, like connecting the dots, because it's a brand. And that it makes sense hearing you say that it's a brand. And when it's a brand, people want to be a part of it. They want to add to it. But like ultimately the brand is bigger than anything that's associated with it. I love hearing your thoughts on that. For the guys that are listening to this that are recruits wanting to play at Appalachian State, walk me through what it takes, because ultimately you guys are a high tier Division I college baseball program, and walk me through. I'm not going to get into the culture or the landscape of college recruiting right now, but specifically to you and your staff, what catches your attention? Like, what does it take to play for the App State baseball program, that brand?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think, I'll just start, finishing on where it's like, we're a brand, we're a powerhouse university, we're a big name university in a college town. And I've always told people, like, as a coach, as a player, like, that's exciting because you want to go somewhere where you have great facilities, great academic support, great administrative support, a passionate fan base that has high standards. and you play on the national stage. And we do. So to your question, from a baseball standpoint, the stats, the data, they show it every year. We are routinely in one of the top 5 conferences in college baseball every year, the Sun Belt Conference, or the Fun Belt, as it's affectionately known.
Yep.
And you can go either way, right? Like you can say, hey, that we were 3rd this year, we were 4th this year. So routinely in one of the top 5 conferences in the country, and you get to play on a national stage, big time venues, in front of large crowds against high level competition. I mean, we just had one of our conference opponents, Coastal Carolina, was 2 wins away from a national championship this year. Southern Miss hosted a regional.
Man.
So you're talking about every year. It's a multi-bid conference league into the postseason. We're fighting for one of those. You finish in the top half of our league, in the top 5 or 6, you've done something. You've won a lot of games. You've had a really special season. So to anybody that would want to play App State, well, one, you got to be a really good student. You've got to have a passion to play baseball at the highest level. You've got to have a work ethic. You've obviously got to have the physicality and the skill set to play this game at the level we need to play and expect to play and desire to play. Our goal is to get to Omaha. We don't just want to win the Sun Belt. We don't just want to be in a regional. We want to be in Supers and be in Omaha. I mean, that's the goal here. And Coach Smith preaches it every day. So when we're out trying to find potential Mountaineers, or people are referencing future potential Mountaineers, obviously in recruiting's 2 parts, really. It's do they have the skill set and the talent? And then you got to find out the personality, the makeup, as you hear people say. And then it's, hey, if those boxes get checked out, then what is the interest in App, and what's the fit? Because not only do they have to fit us, we have to fit them, right? Like,
correct.
Do they want to be in this environment? Do they want to be in this climate? Do they want to be in this type of setting? And those are things that you don't find out until you obviously get down, into the process. But for anybody that is interested in App State, it's a special place. There's not many places like it, and we want to try to go win a national championship here, and hopefully in the near future.
Let's go talking with Ross Steedley of App State on the Baseball Forward podcast, episode 71. Let's go to the landscape of college baseball, because I'm curious your take and where you sit at a program like you guys. Boy, things have changed, and I hear this routinely now in the last 6 months to a year. College baseball has gotten older, and it whatever that means, I get it. The physicality of the game it's never been this way. Like, there are men, like the guys that start for your program, or that are in the rotation, or that are in the bullpen. These are men. Like, they are mature men. It's like you're watching minor league baseball. So I'm curious, like, to the landscape of college baseball right now. High schoolers, like, it's almost kind of deflating, because it's like, do they have a chance to go to like an App State and impact the program out of high school? Will they impact you guys year one? But I guess more importantly is like the composition of your roster. It's got to be high school kids, transfer kids. There's so many different ways to comprise a roster these days. What are your thoughts on all of it? Is it like, are you guys old school? Do you want the high school guys? Do you look for the transfers? Like, is there like a percentage that you guys try to say, hey, we want this number of high school guys, we want this number of transfer guys, we want this number of older guys? Is any of that making sense?
Well, I think it goes back to kind of what we were just talking about, the recruiting aspect. So obviously the skill, but like, what is your style of play, right? What is the style of play, the identity of your team, the identity of your program? You're always, you should be recruiting to that, right? Does the player personnel piece fit? And then obviously, so Coach Britt Johnson is our assistant coach and recruiting coordinator here. Him and Coach Smith have been together for going on over 15 years now, school prior to here to App. And so they've done a tremendous job. And Coach Jay is our recruiting coordinator, and then Coach Heath Blackman, our pitching coach from East Carolina. So when you look at like our staff, I think we've got a really good vision and mix of what we're looking for. And you're always looking, again, Coach Smith, he just asked it yesterday, like, does the player help us get to Omaha? It's a yes or no question.
Wow.
And so when you view it through that lens and like our style of play, the personnel, the profile, but to your question specifically, whether it's a high school kid, a junior college kid, or a transfer portal kid, you're still doing your homework, and do they help you get to where you want to go, your goal and your vision? So, but the neat thing is here at App is you look at our lineup last year, 6 of our everyday 9 guys came from high school.
Wow.
So I would say we are a blend, like, you're watching Chapel Hill and TCU play football on Monday night, and, Tar Heels had in 70 transfer. I think people have this sense of it's a transfer portal world.
Yes.
But I would say, but I would say in college baseball, there's still a lot of high school players that are getting recruited, and rightfully so. But you have to have a blend. I call it free agency in a sense, just me personally. And I know it's like, I think your foundation is always going to come through high school. I think those are going to be your bread and butter. That's your highest ceiling. And then I think free agency comes in through junior college or transfer portal to where plug and play. Hey, we got to go get like a right now Friday night starter. We got to go get a right now 3-hole hitter. I think that's how you view it. But we try to have a good mix. We try to and Coach Jay does a really good job with that, with our roster maintenance and our roster management, and keeping us on track, and making sure we're on the right path of where we want to go. But here at App, we're going to always have a blend of all three levels, in a sense, of high school, JUCO, portal. And as I said, I mean, our team makeup last year was still heavily based out of a high school foundation. Our team makeup this year will be a little bit of the same. So it's, at the end of the day, it's every team's different now more than ever. All right. Mm-hmm. It's what does your team need? And then you have to be forecasting that really 2 to 3 years out in advance. If you're going to be at the highest level, which we need and expect to be, like, you're doing it in advance pretty far out.
Yeah. Like a business plan. Talking with Coach Steedley of App State on the Baseball Forward podcast. This episode of the Baseball Forward podcast is brought to you by the Bertrand team. Experience, service, excellence. For any of your North Texas real estate needs, visit BertrandTeamRealEstate.com. Man, okay, so the identity of the player, like when I say dirtbag, I think it's inherent. We all know what dirtbags is. So like if App State is hanging their hat on the style of play, is what you say. Like I think of hard 90s, slide into the base hard, first to thirds, hitting cuts, high socks, hat down. Like what does App State, what is the coaching staff at App State? What do you guys hang your hat on? Like what is the identity, the style of play? Because I want the kids that listen to this and the families that listen to this to understand how important this type of stuff is.
Yeah, no, well, you kind of hit on several of really what we are. Is you're going to hear a couple monikers through our program with Coach Smith. Is he's going to say fast, physical, and tough. Those are the three the words that we expect our guys to represent, to go out there. And it basically it's just a way to sum up, we're going to do everything aggressively. You're going to hear that word Coach Smith all the time, is just go be aggressive, which I think also is another way to say play free, right? Hey, just go play free, do everything you got with great effort. And the results, we've worked really hard to get here, and the results will be what they are. And we were talking about yesterday, Coach Johnson talks about like a sliding scale. Like on one side, you got the mistake part of the scale. On the other side, you've got the unbelievable sports center, right? You're going to be on top 10. Like if you're going to go great effort, great aggressiveness, fast, physical, and tough, and try to be a sports center top 10 guy. But there's also, with that comes some mistakes. But there's the freedom and aggressiveness to allow that and coach those guys in that environment. So fast, physical, and tough is an identity piece. And then one of our acronyms, TGHT, is Coach Smith. The game honors toughness. So basically what is, if you go out and play hard every day, like that should be the bare minimum. The bare minimum should be when the umpire says play ball, when we put a practice together, you got to go give great effort. You got to have a work ethic. You've got to have a capacity. You've got to have a passion for it and a drive to be the best. And the game's going to honor that. Basically, it's like there's two kinds of people, as you'll hear Coach Smith say. There's the people that want to be the absolute best at what they do, and then there's the people that don't. Like there's no neutral ground. There's no in between. You're either trying to be the ultimate best, or you're just not. Yes. So what is our identity? It's we want to play aggressive. We want to play free. We want to play tough, and the game's going to honor that. And I think it was really neat this year an opposing coaching staff that we're pretty close with within our own conference. So an opposing Sunbelt coaching staff was telling us, and it was late in the year, and it was after the weekend series, they did their pre-series team meeting. So all coaches, all players on Thursday night, and they are going over App State. Okay. And they said the first words out of the head coach's mouth to his team was, hey, just go ahead and let you know right now, nobody will play harder than these guys. So we have to. So he was saying like we have to match that. And that's a credit to Coach Smith and the culture and everything that they have built here, and him and Coach Johnson going on a decade now. And I think that just sums it up. And Coach Smith says it is there might be teams that we play that will play as hard as us, but nobody will ever play harder than us. That is an identity of App State baseball, is no matter what point of the season it is, no matter what lineup is run out there, no matter who's on the mound, we're going to play hard. We're going to play with great effort, great intensity, great focus. And that's just an expectation that's built every day, and our guys buy into it and they own it.
I love that, man. Tip of the cap to Coach Johnson and Smith for, Coach Smith being there for that long. And like, there's something to be said about camaraderie, unity within a coaching staff, stability. Because if I'm a kid wanting to play baseball, and like if I'm going to App State, my goal isn't App State. I want to play Major League Baseball, because that's a stopping point. So to me, if I'm evaluating choices, I'm sitting here thinking, I want this stability. I want that reliability, and I want to be coached in a way of ultimate reverence and respect for the game. And I don't think kids maybe think about that stuff. So is that something like the guys that are going through it and they're looking for schools, like that's something they should consider, is the unity of the staff? How long have the coaches been there? Like, what's their style? What's their brand? What say you?
Yeah, I think that's definitely 100% of a decision-making factor, like we were talking about earlier. Like, right, like they have to fit us, we have to fit them. So the coaching style, the personality of the staff, the track record of the staff, the unity of the staff, those are all important pieces. And I think, again, we have that here. And I just think you step back and you look at the 30,000 foot view, right, of not just a track record of players getting better. And, we just had 2 more guys drafted this past year. Awesome. We've had guys in the big leagues. We've got one currently right now, Jeffrey Springs, left-handed pitcher for the Athletics. And we got a couple more that'll be there, maybe even this year. So cool. It's so obviously you're looking at those things, but you look at the aspect of the family environment. I think there's a lot of people that preach family, but I think it's just kind of like a bumper sticker as to where, like, you look at Coach Smith's track record of the decade here, like, no, it's a true family lifestyle environment. It breeds into our players. It breeds into our alums. Our last home weekend of the regular season this past year, we're playing Georgia State, and there were over 30 former players back here supporting us with their girlfriends, wives, kids. Yep. Even the things that are bigger than baseball. We had a former player come back, and he asked to be baptized on our field, and was awesome at the position he played.
No way.
Yeah. So I
love
think that is the biggest win you're ever going to have. So
heck yeah.
It's just it's a credit to Coach Smith and what he's built here in his time. And I think that we're all continuing to try to be the best we can be. And the players that would want to be a part of a program like this, like, it takes a lot of work. It ain't easy. What we're trying to accomplish, again, Coach Smith preaches that to our players every day. Like, we're trying to be the absolute best, and that's never easy in any career. Good point. There's going to be a lot of stumbling blocks and adversity and frustration along the way and questioning. But then you look back and it's like, man, there's a lot of positives, and we feel good about where we're heading.
I love hearing about that baptism. I'm a Christian. My faith, I hope, is the most important thing. I tried to make it to be, but I'm not going to gloss over that, because I want you to tell this baseball forward audience, Ross Steedley, assistant coach at Appalachian State, App State, the Mountaineers. I want you to tell of the importance of faith, the importance faith plays in being a successful athlete, in being a successful coach, in being a successful program from your standpoint.
Yeah, well, I think in any walk of life, your relationship with the Lord and your faith and your salvation in Christ it's going to keep it centers you. It gives you peace. It gives you a purpose. It gives you a determination and a focus. And I remember you reading a magazine years ago, like FCA magazine. Mike Matheny was talking about, and it's always stuck with me. He said, I think a lot of people think Christians are passive when it comes to the athletics realm. and really know like they're the most competitive, passionate, and aggressive people out there because you have this fire inside your soul. So what the role does the faith play? Well, I mean, it keeps you humble. It keeps it in perspective. You understand that, yes, we're trying to win. We're trying to be ultra uber successful in the win-loss score column. But you're serving these guys. And to your point, like, right, you may have 20 new players every year, and that's 20 new people to try to reach. You could have 2 years with a kid that's kind of rocky, and then like that third year, it just clicks. It could be, years down the road, which has even happened in my own coaching career, where, you felt like maybe I didn't connect or click with the kid. And then 3, 4, 5 years down the road, they circle back and they talk to you and tell you how much it meant. And where they're at. So what does faith mean? You're living it out loud. Like it also, in a sense, right? Like it keeps you centered and keeps you in check. Like, hey, if I'm going to claim to live a certain lifestyle, I've got, in this day, right, we've got 30 plus guys with their eyes on you. And that doesn't mean we're not going to be never perfect.
I get it.
But there's a way that you should be a testament to how you're living. Like, hey man, like that guy walks it. And same thing with your players, right? Like, hey man, that guy walks it. And I think we're a huge witness opportunity, right? I mean, from a national stage, social media, fan base. We just had 3 straight years of attendance record. So we just set a 3rd straight year of an attendance record here. And I just think that's a credit to Coach Smith. So it starts at the top, right? If you're going to have a faith-based led program, and Coach Smith leads it, he leads it out front, and then Coach Johnson, and then myself and Coach Blackman. And I think that's really neat. This is my first place that I've ever truly been with, 4 strong Christian coaches and men. And we have a weekly staff Bible study. Our players have a player-led Bible study, and you got FCA on campus. So
let's go.
I keep going on and on, but the Lord is doing some special things here in the App State baseball program, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
That's the best part of this conversation right now, and that ticks App State up even more, in my opinion. Talking with Ross Steedley, assistant coach at App State in Boone, North Carolina, on the Baseball Forward podcast today. Coach, Baseball Forward, our motto is elevating the next generation. It matters to us as a group, Coach Schwanke, Coach Ward, myself. It matters to pass the game on the right way. So when there's a lot of negativity in the game. Do this, don't do that. He's wrong, you're wrong. I can't stand that stuff. And so elevating the next generation of ball players specifically, when you think about giving advice to the young guys coming up, you've been through the fire, you've been there. Like, what's your advice to young players coming up in the game? What would your advice be on elevating the next generation?
Well, I think I'll start from the beginning. I was blessed to be born into and raised in a Christian family and a baseball loving family, athletic family. And my mom's dad played professionally. She had a brother. My Uncle Kelly actually played here at App State. Like, how about that? Crazy. Yeah, man, and then my dad played at Liberty and Pfeiffer, and my brother and I played at Charlotte. So I think just starting there, like, what is my advice is, you've got to have a dream. You've got to have a goal, and you've got to have a relentless work ethic to attain what you're trying to achieve. And you've got to surround yourself and put yourself around I know it's cliche or whatnot, but I think there's truths to all the cliches. You've got to put yourself in environments and around people to where, hey, if this is where I want to be and what I say I want to achieve and become, then my daily actions and my course of work should be showing that. Like, hey, if I want to be a straight A student, then everything should point to that.
Sure.
And then same thing, if I want to go out and be an extremely high level baseball player, then I've got to put myself in position to do that. But my advice is you better be in the weight room. You better have your priorities in check, have realistic goals, realistic attainable goals.
I like that.
And then also, I think, a big thing that it might ruffle some feathers. It might also excite some people, but I think kids need to be playing multiple sports. I'm a testament to that. And I think that's valuable in recruiting. I think that's valuable in the well-roundedness of an individual and I think that goes out to the coaches out there too, and I get like people are trying to have their pod, but if you want the best interest of the kid, if you're trying to help the kid be the best he can be, and the same thing for the parents, man, they go out and play them all. Play. If you're passionate about something, go see what you can do. And I take that back to my own family, and our dad and our mom like never forced it on us. I think that's another advice that I would give to coaches, to parents. Like if they don't, I know David Pollock. I heard him months ago reference like your children, like the kid is going to determine if they want to do it or not, basically, like paraphrasing. Right. Like if little Johnny wants to say, hey, I want to go try to be a Major League Baseball player, like he's going to do it.
That's right.
He doesn't need somebody prodding him. And so that would be my advice to the players. Again, work hard, put yourself in a position to go be all you can be. To the people that are in that kid's corner, so to speak, like just be a support, just be an encouragement. And just, hey, go have fun, right? Like I enjoyed watching play today. It's not about the success. It's just go out there and you played really hard. I played multiple sports. Play multiple sports.
I love that. All right. All right. I want to know this because I just think about just like a fall afternoon in a fall practice at App State. Aside from you, I'm just going to give you the credit. I don't know, but who's the best fungo hitter you've ever seen? And it could be outside. Who's the best fungo hitter, and why were they a good fungo hitter?
Who's the best fungo hitter?
Oh, look at you! Like, oh, it's me.
No, I'm trying. Okay, my brother and I played at Charlotte, and he was there before. So our family spent 9 consecutive years at Charlotte. And it's funny as we're on you're talking about it's funny as we're on this. Coach Hibbs, our college coach, called me while we're on this right now. So shout out Coach Lauren Hibbs.
Let's go, Coach.
If he hears this. So great player at Wichita State, coach at Wichita, and was coached us at Charlotte, extremely successful. And he actually just finished up in the Cape this summer. But Bo Durkat, Coach D, recruited my brother and I. He was an assistant coach at Charlotte, and he threw unbelievable money BP and special fungo hitter. Like I'm talking about, like if you wanted 2 hops 3 feet to the left of the shortstop, he was going to put it there. It was special. It was like a magic wand. So that is the first name that came to my mind was Bo Durkat, Coach D. Shout out Coach D. I believe he's a color analyst now. He announces college baseball games. Had a really good playing career, coaching career at many schools. Coach D would be the best fungo hitter that I've seen.
And I got to get your advice because there's a lot of coaches, youth coaches that listen to this. And you'd be surprised at how many direct messages or messages that I get from youth coaches that say, can you help me and give me tips on fungo? Can you help me with throwing BP? So you said masterful BP, good fungo. Coach Steedley at App State, like give some advice to the younger coaches out there. What's the key to throwing good BP? What's the key to hitting a good fungo?
I think for any aspiring coach, like those are one or both of those actually can give you a long career. There's a lot of people that put value in hiring a staff member at any level of the ability to just, hey, he throws really good BP and he hits a really good fungo. So I would say people also don't understand it's not as easy as you think. Just think like, hey, I'm going to step up there and chuck money BP. It's an art. You've got to have some feel to it, the distance and the speed and the arm slot. And so I would say, the key to a BP is just try to figure out what makes it work for you. I don't try to be, oh, that guy throws this way, I'm going to throw like him, or hey, I need to throw from this certain. No, like what just makes you the most effective, efficient thrower, because it's about the guy you're throwing to, not you. And if you look silly and funky throwing it, but it works, so be it.
Yes.
And then a fungo hitter, I think people don't try to be cool. Like don't try to look cute and like swaggy, right? If that's even a way to say it. For me, even when I hit a fungo, I'm a right-handed hitter. I hold the bat in my right hand. I toss it up with my left hand and I hit. I don't try to do the underhand or whatnot. But I think that's another just simple piece of advice is, again, it's about the player. Don't try to make it any bigger than what it is. Just, hey, toss the ball up and hit it. And the most important thing in the fungo is the toss. That is the toss makes the fungo.
Okay. Hey, I love that, man, because to me, there's nothing better. I remember the first time, and this is high school, going out and I hit fungo with the high school baseball in Texas and the in and out. I mean, I was more nervous hitting the in and out than I was ever in front of like 10,000 people. I was like, holy, like the music. I'm like, geez, don't screw this up. So
I remember the first time I hit it. So I had shoulder surgery one of my years in college, and I couldn't go out and play college summer ball. So I was rehabbing, and I was helping. So one of my coaching mentors, like he is Coach Jim Gant, the head baseball coach at Catawba College.
Okay.
And he's also the Legion Ball, or was the Rowan County Legion Ball coach where we're from. And I was helping Coach Gant, which is huge in Iredale's, like Rowan County Legion Special. So I helped him coach that summer I was rehabbing. And I'll never forget, we're getting ready for like in and out. And he's busy talking to coaches and everything. And I was like, he's going to make me hit this. You watch. And sure enough, it got time, and he just like looked over to the side and he whistled. He's like, Steedley, you got it.
Oh,
and so I got nervous real quick, Ross. Yeah. I to your point, I was like, I'm about to hit IO to these guys in front of hundreds of people, and I have never done this before. And the truth be told is the first ball to left fielder, I kind of duffed it. But a breakfast ball was used, as the golfers would say. We got a breakfast ball going. But after that, it was easy, right? Like it just is like, hey man, just swing, throw it and hit it, swing it.
Man, I love hearing that. And that's just, to me, that's baseball. Like going out and hitting ground balls or fly. It's just so much fun. Talking with Coach Steedley at App State on the Baseball Forward podcast today. Coach, a couple more questions for you, about 5 more minutes. Do you have any regrets? Like where you're at right now? Do you have any regrets looking back? Are there mistakes that you made that you're like, man, I would hope that they would listen to me and they could learn from that? And that maybe regret's the wrong word. Mistakes, you want to help people be a better version of themselves as a coach, I'm guessing. So, like, do you have regrets? Is there something that you would want someone to know that you screwed up that you would want to help them to maybe not screw up?
Well, I think that honestly, it ties into the faith, right? Like, I wouldn't say I have any regrets, because I think the Lord I know for a fact he has ordained every step that's taken me here to now being in Boone, North Carolina. And if I said I had any regrets, that would be going against where he's led me at into this point in my life, my career. Are there things I would say I would wish I did better or said better or worked this? Yeah, well, I think because you're trying to be a better coach, which I would say since I got in coaching in 2012, I went right from playing at Charlotte to right into coaching. So I would hope to say I've become a better coach which is crazy thing. I've been coaching for over a decade. But I would say no regrets, because the Lord has really worked over these however many years, right? But are there players I wish you could have right from a spiritual standpoint, faith aspect, like, man, like a player or players, all of them, right? Like, did I really live and march out the testimony that I claim to have? Did I give that player the best tools and resources to go be the best he can be, or did I hold him back? So I wouldn't say so much regress, just more so, hey, learning, right? Like, hey, in this year at this school, I was doing it this way with these players. It was this, and then it's like, like now here, I put all that together, and it's like, okay, this is the way that I believe and what we want to do, and how we can get the best for these guys, and then also help them become the best version of themselves as a young man, not just a baseball player. So I would say it that way.
You know what? Hearing you say that, like, it makes me think. I go to my family goes to Life Church. Pastor Craig Rochelle, massive church, and he said something about 6 months ago in a sermon. He said, "Stay connected. Your job is to not do the work. Your job is to stay connected to God and stay connected to your faith." And I think the older that I get, and I'm hearing you as you're shaping these answers out. One, so authentic, and I love it. the closer I am to him, the better the result is for everybody. Is that right?
Yeah. And you use the word, I think that's an advice that is like, I think one thing that I've always tried to do is just be my authentic self, like how the Lord made me, and what he put inside of me. Cause I think at the end of the day, that's what your players are going to want and respect the most. They're going to pick up if you're fake, but the connected piece, like, hey, I can't pour into our players if I'm not filled up from a spiritual standpoint, and if I don't have at least someone pouring into me. And again, Coach Hibbs I'm thankful to have a great relationship still with my college coach, my high school baseball coach, Coach Hightower. And I'm thankful to have 3 of my closest friends that we talk on a daily basis. One's in Major League Baseball, one's in the Big Ten, and one I share an office with here in Boone. And then spread out from there. So you got to have a really good support system. You've got to have a really strong, again, a faith foundation, and just be your authentic self and stay connected. And then just try to give your players the best every day. That's all you can do.
Man, the way you're talking to me, I analyze it and I'm like, man, I think I would really have liked a younger version of me would have liked to play for you, because that word authentic, but you're not holding any punches. I can tell that you care very much about your players. And I think the fact that Coach Johnson, Coach Smith hired you, that says a lot about, because of how he is, that says a lot about you and what you bring to the table. Talking with Coach Steedley of App State. Last question for you, Coach. Very serious. I always say it like this, but music, man. I love music. You referenced Luke Combs earlier.
Yep.
I got to know, what was your walkout song at the height of your career? And I got, what do you listen to? You're gonna go home tonight and you're driving through Boone, North Carolina. What are you listening to on Sirius or your CD player? What do you got?
I don't know if there was ever a height of my career, right? But no. And it's funny, the little nugget I always give. Coach Smith actually recruited my brother at a previous school, but he did not recruit me. I tell him, hey, he just didn't think I was good enough, right? But now he's hired me, so he's got to deal with me. My walkout song? I tell people, so my freshman year at Charlotte, the upperclassmen, they chose your song for you, and I think you'll respect this because we both have a great name, Ross. So they chose my freshman year. They chose a Rick Ross song that basically just said Ross for 20 seconds. So
that's awesome.
I just walked up to the plate my freshman year with this song just beeping Ross. I'm like, man, these people think like I've just got like this huge ego, right? But then as time went throughout my college career, and I evolved to where I was able to choose my walkout song, not my senior college teammate like Aaron Bray or whatnot. Again, I wanted to use it as a witness testament. So I would come out to a worship song or Lecrae, like Christian rap. It started to get, Lecrae was used. So I used a couple of those, but what do I listen to now? So if I'm working out, I'm actually going to be like a mix of country, classic rock, worship, or even a podcast, which people might find that weird. But I enjoy a good podcast, even working out. If I'm driving, it's typically worship music or country. If I'm grilling out or whatnot, it's typically some country or like I love Need to Breathe is probably my favorite band. I love Need to Breathe. So yeah, I'm going to be a mixture of my worship music and country more than anything.
Authentic, my friend. And I know about that. Hey, I still have players that call me Ricky Rose. Like they'll send me messages and they're like in their 30s now. And they're like, what's up, Rose? I'm like, no, it's Ross, guys. But Rick Ross noted. Coach Steedley, what a pleasant conversation. I really appreciate you talking with Baseball Forward. I had a blast with this conversation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you say a final word and then I'll tie it all up.
Yeah, I had a blast as well. Ross, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you giving me opportunity to obviously talk personally, but represent Appalachian State, represent App State, the university here, the athletics, our baseball program, and hopefully whoever listens out there, whether it's a player or fan or anybody that is just curious, it's a special place, and hopefully they learn more about it, and it leads to some positive things for App State. But just a thank you to you, Ross, for having me on, and I appreciate it, man, and I hope we can stay connected. and do this again sometime and do it for a long time.
100% we will. Ross Steedley, Appalachian State, episode 71 of the Baseball Forward podcast.